really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, you know, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
Never visit Massachusetts based on this case?
Exactly, because you would go there as a visitor and leave as a felon or something.
And no matter where I go, I feel
baby,
it right
I'm home, I'm home, I'm home.
Come on. Rainy days, rainy nights when the pain hit. Mental health fragile. Don't let your brain flip. Had a child with your lady. Never claimed it. She takes care of your son, huh?
They really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, you know, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
And no matter where I go, I feel
Baby,
it right
I'm home, I'm home, I'm home.
Come on. Rainy days, rainy nights when the pain hit. Mental health fragile. Don't let your brain flip. Had a child with your lady. Never claimed it. She takes care of your son, huh? That's some lame shit. Hold on to dreams. Don't let others see. They say they're sober. They fake recovery. I always reach out. Can't see my brother bleed, but he don't wanna listen. Rather run the streets. Chasing fame, such an entrepreneur. You ain't got that man's money. What you flaunting for? Nothing to call your own. Now you wanting more. Now you in group chats talking noise with your boys. Went from sipping Heineken, sipping on Stella. From boosting with the fellas, merchandise reselling. From a solid crew, now his man is telling. Having Fetty babies from the shit they sell. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing. I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing. I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Come on. Driving in the whip, light drip with the rain guards. Can't believe the same shit, yo. We came far, grew up on the same street, cut the same cars, call a spade a spade. We was made stars. DYS, home on the bed crunch. Walkman, super bass, make your head bust. Damn low sweater, 96 North Face, embrace cold weather. And prison is the thing that brings us together. And this is the place that we run back to. Rep our city, verbally attack you. Chaos, negativity, what we attract to. Home is where the heart is, and I don't have to. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I I don't owe my city nothing, I take
Baby,
care
I'm
of my
home.
own. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe it to yourself and your family. Protect your growth. Welcome home.
Welcome home. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I really appreciate that. Live on Wednesday night. JFK, unfortunate news. James is not feeling well tonight, so he gracefully bowed out. But prayers to James. He actually got something wrong with his ankle. I sent him the link, so maybe he'll pop on. We'll see if he's feeling up to it. But other than that, is Beetlejuice, aka Hank Brennan. Is he gonna pull a Mello? Because Mello was a special prosecutor too, right? Yeah, he was. Go JFK. I love this song. I really appreciate that. Love is love. Prayers to James. Nothing but love for James, for sure. But we're gonna get into some things. We're gonna get into some phone calls. And I just want to let everybody know, if you're on the replay crew, you're tapping in right now. Try a super thanks comment right in the comment section. Hit a super thanks. If you're trying to get at me on Cash App, it's JFK Show Off. Super thanks. Appreciate it. I thank you in advance. Also, like I said on the phone calls, I want to talk about, is Hank gonna pull a Mello? Mello is the guy who got real creative and tried to do Turtle Boy wrong. Well, not try to do Turtle Boy wrong. He did do Turtle Boy wrong. He got real creative. He knew Turtle Boy was on bail, and he figured out a way to play him. But he's a special prosecutor. He actually did an interview in the Fall River paper or something like that. If you guys in the chat know what I'm talking about, go ahead and put me up on game. He said, he thinks Turtle Boy is gonna act up while he's on bail, like he predicted the future. And Turtle Boy got arrested by some chick he was seeing on the side or whatever. That's his business. And she made some allegations, which is nothing but hearsay, and they made her a witness on a case, on an indictment, when he wasn't even indicted yet, on a grand jury indictment when he wasn't even indicted yet, which is very, very weird, but they get creative. So to segue back into what I've been saying, I've been taking a lot of hits from that. I keep saying Beetlejuice, Hank Brennan is a guy that's on our side, and everybody's like, nah, JFK, you're tripping, he's bad. And I ask questions why this case ain't dropped yet. Is there something Karen Reed might have known? Do they want something from Karen Reed? Do they want her testimony? Is this what this going to lead into? Now, is Hank going to do what Mello did? He's a special prosecutor too. I don't think so. After seeing what Mello did, Mello's about to turn into a witness, probably going to get disbarred. Getting creative, but dare I say, this type of shit happens every day in the court system. This is what happens. They do this every day to kids. They figure out a way to put them in the scope and hitch them, should I say, onto something. Lug them from their home. Arrest them. Put them away. Even if months, years later, they prove their innocence, it doesn't matter. They still ruin their life. They put them in shackles. Put them in handcuffs. Put them in the courthouse basement. Put them around other prisoners. Took them away from home. Strip searched. Lift up your ball, show me your tongue. Yeah, things like that. They got away with it. I'm going to tap into the lawyer, Melanie Little, I think her name is. We want to talk about that a little bit. She breaks it down a little bit better than me. Play some footage of that and go to the police report, because we all know what happened, right? Let's see. Hello. Kelly Hill, what's up? How we feeling tonight? What's the 411 on the detaining of the NCDA vehicle, yo? I don't even know what that means. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't catch that. Just my brain ain't clicking. Gonna have to let me know what that means. Miss Shorty, what's going on? How we feeling? Trying to get Miss Shorty up on the show. Y'all want to see Miss Shorty on the show? Let me know. And I like to start the show off and get everybody hyped. We got 126 people in the room. You know how we do it. and it's only right to start it off the right way. If you guys had one word to describe Karen Reed, what would it be? We just need one word, y'all. This is your chat. This is your chat. I'll let you guys get to it. Go. Oh. Come on. Let's go. It's your chat, people. Let's go. Innocent. I like that. Railroaded, for sure. Okay, Miss Shorty. Brave. You sticking with Warrior.
Doors out. Kick the
Yes, and you know what I think? I think she's the ultimate warrior. But yeah, let's go over this police report of what went down and get an idea of how this girl, I think her name's Lindsay, did Turtle Boy wrong, but more so when I'm talking about how creative, the parallel of how creative the Commonwealth can get, because on my last lives, like I said, I've been taking a lot of hits. A lot of people been saying, JFK, you've been saying bad stuff about Karen, and how could you? And that's never my goal. There's always a method to the madness, and we know Mello got creative to lock Turtle Boy up. Why would Hank do the same thing? But he's gonna want to know the truth, and I'm sure he's gonna want to put Karen on the stand, which means is if Karen does get on the stand, she might have to say some things to incriminate herself. Did she kill John? We all know. Disclaimer, disclaimer. She didn't kill John, but she might have been driving drunk. We don't know what she knows. She might say some things that we never heard from her before. But I'm sure Hank's going to want to get creative to make this case go away. So let's tap into some of this right here and hear from a real lawyer. She could tell you better than I could tell you, for sure. Check this out. Melanie Little, right?
Because that's fun. Mr. Mello instead called D.L. Tully, who attempted to listen to the encounter between Ms. Gattani and Mr. Carney for several minutes. See Exhibit C. In these circumstances, it is critical that Mr. Mello explain under oath why, if he became aware and heard Mr. Carney intimidating a grand jury witness one day after she was served with a summons, he did not call 911. Footnote 7. Prior to December 2023, Mr. Mello already had called the police to report less serious allegations of witness intimidation. On November 5th, 2023, after a grand jury witness called Mr. Mello complaining that a group of peaceful protesters had gathered across the street from his pizza establishment, Mr. Mello called the Canton police on his behalf. During those calls, he specifically advised the Canton police that the protesters were violating MGL Section 268. 13B. So that's, I believe, the Canton 9 who were protesting across the street from Chris Albert's D&E Pizzeria. And Mello called the police on them. Okay.
Mello, huh? What a guy. Hank, don't be a Mello.
Why he did not instruct Ms. Gattani to call 911 and why he called D.L. Tully instead of the local police. Mr. Mello is an essential defense witness. He is a witness relative to conduct between Ms. Gattani and Mr. Carney.
Because they don't call the police because these police officers work hand in hand. This is called unofficial business, people. They do this all the time. They're supposed to get on the horn and make the 911 call, put it over the terror tapes. They call terror tapes 911 tapes, put it over the broadcast. Instead, they do unofficial business, get creative, and set you up. That's what they do. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And Samantha, I definitely think Karen Reed is getting on the stand if it gets dropped to a manslaughter.
Carney that directly led to Mr. Carney's arrest and indictment. He's the only witness who can explain why Ms. Gattani was served with a grand jury summons on December 22nd, 2023, when no proceeding was pending, and her prior statements to the MSP did not allege that Mr. Carney committed any crimes. It is virtually certain that his testimony will be required to impeach Ms. Gattani on numerous material topics. For the reasons stated above and those referenced in our September 12th, 2023 letter, Mr. Mello is required to voluntarily recuse himself as a special assistant district attorney pursuant to Rule 3.7 of the Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct and Commonwealth v. Scanlon. XOXO, Mark Betterow. Wow. Well, you may recall that during the last hearing, there is a motion to recuse, right? Is there a motion to recuse or disqualify already pending? And she put that over? Let me just look at my notes. Yeah, the motion to disqualify Ken Mello as the DA is scheduled to be heard on January 10th, unless, of course, he voluntarily recuses himself before then, in which case that court date would be moot. And there's a motion to suppress that's currently scheduled for December 2nd. Okay, let's get to the exhibits, shall we?
This gets crazy. This is the best part of the whole thing. This gets wild, for sure.
Kirsten, thank you for the 10, says, as with any kind of data reporting, this is only the case you know about. There are so many more you've never heard of. I hear you saying it could be you. Likely for too many people, it is already them. Right.
Yes, for sure it is.
Romy, thank you. This is absolutely wild. How can Mello even try to defend against this gross misconduct? I don't know. Is that why he's been kind of like maybe in hiding? I don't know. Exhibit A is the Fall River Reporter.
This is crazy.
Article by Jess Machado that is referred to in this letter, which we will not read together, but someone has told me is on the Young Jerks Facebook page. You can access these documents and read about them yourself. Where Mello did like an actual interview with Jess Machado, like an actual interview. I mean, you can compare this, if you will, to like Marcy's hostage video that he did. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you get out there and give an interview days later? Why would Marcy do that hostage video in August of 2023?
Crazy.
Hubris?
Watch this.
Exhibit B.
Here we go.
Here's the interview report for Lindsay Gattani. The report is dated 12/18 of 2023. So this is before these alleged witness intimidation charges, which occurred on December 23rd. So on the 18th of December, Lindsay Gattani was interviewed by none other than Brian Tully.
Wouldn't you know?
Narrative begins on the following page. Oh, this will be fun. Okay. On December 14th, 2023, and this is Tully's words, at 1300 hours.
It's crazy.
I, Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, and Nelson D. Gouveia, an investigator for Special Prosecutor Kenneth Mello, interviewed Lindsay Gattani at her residence. Okay, she was interviewed the 14th. Oh, hi, Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy's watching. This is just a small preview. There's a lot more and it gets much worse. How could it? How could it? I mean, I'm going to take your word for it because you have access to more documents than I do. But this is insane. This is insane. Lindsay stated she met Aidan Carney in September 2023 after exchanging messages on Facebook Messenger. Facebook is good for nothing. I don't use Facebook, and it's good for nothing. And here's a perfect example of why Facebook is good for nothing.
You right about
Lindsay
that.
stated she would communicate with two of Carney's Facebook profiles, Clarence Woods Emerson and Aidan Carney. Carney and Lindsay met in person by following a Commonwealth v. Reed court date and went to her apartment. After that meeting, Lindsay and Carney began having a romantic relationship, with Carney staying at her apartment, staying over on Friday nights at her apartment. At the beginning of the relationship, is there anything good that's going to strike me in here? All right. It's public. At the beginning of their relationship, Carney stated he was close with Karen Reed's family. He would later state to Lindsay that he speaks with Karen Reed every day. Lindsay showed me a screenshot that Carney allegedly sent her showing multiple calls on a certain day that showed Karen Reed's signal audio in the call log. Carney told Lindsay that there was an intermediary between Carney and Reed, a woman by the name of Natalie. Carney stated Natalie and Reed were angry with each other. Carney then began talking to Reed directly. Lindsay stated Carney runs everything by Karen, meaning all the blog posts and social media content is approved by Reed before Carney publishing. Carney described Reed as difficult, controlling, and gets irritated with him.
Wow.
Lindsay stated Carney showed her material relevant to the investigation of the homicide of John O'Keefe, including the 911 call and cruiser video footage before it was, quote, leaked on social media. Lindsay stated Carney and Reed.
Keep in mind, this is all hearsay, people. This is all hearsay, but this is another creative way for someone to come forward. They know he's on bail right now. They know he's on bail. So when he got bail for this case, he had 60 days. He can't get in trouble I mean, if he gets in trouble, he can be held within 60 days. And that's exactly what happened. They rearrested him. He didn't even get indicted yet, but yet they said she was a witness for a grand jury that he wasn't even indicted yet. So, which totally makes no sense. So she was a witness to what? Because the Cameron Reed grand jury was already out. The intimidating witness that he got arrested for, he wasn't indicted yet on that. So they actually put her as a witness on the intimidating witness that he got indicted for that case. But it doesn't make any sense. So it was like there was no indictment, but yet she was a witness. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. This is how they get creative, people. But the parallel is we're gonna get to it. We're definitely gonna get to it. It's wild, man. Wild for sure.
Reed communicate using the Signal app because it's encrypted. Lindsay described one instance where Reed controlled what Carney would publish. Carney wanted to release the Canton police cruiser video footage that he had obtained from Reed. Carney asked Reed if he could publish the video on his Turtle Boy platform. Lindsay stated Reed said no to the request. Talk about like double, triple hearsay, first of all. And second of all, it looks like they only went to interview her because they were trying to prove a case of collusion or conspiracy between Karen Reed and Aiden Carney, which, as we saw, was unsuccessful.
I like that right there. I did say that on my last live. Do you think Karen drove the 34 twice? Once to drop off John, she left fast, maybe angry, then came back 10 minutes later to collect him, and that's when Nagel saw her alone. Why didn't they see John O'Keefe? That's a real good question, and I questioned that on my last live. But you got to watch out what you say, because if that happened and she left fast, obviously she left fast because there was an argument or something like that, right? Which means is Karen Reed knows more, and that's what I think Hank Brennan, if this is the case, Kurt, if this is the case, disclaimer, Hank Brennan's going to want her to tell this side of the story so he can get the bad guys. That's what I think. For sure.
Lindsay stated Reed said no to the request. Carney was frustrated and contacted one of Reed's defense attorneys, Alan Jackson. Jackson approved the release of the video. Reed later found out about Carney going to Jackson and was angry. Lindsay stated different sources of financial benefit for Carney and his partners. Lindsay described she attended a Halloween party held by Carney. On the drive to the party, Carney told Lindsay that he has a videographer, Richie, unknown last name, who has been following him around in anticipation of creating a documentary. Carney stated Alan Jackson might be paying Richie directly. She described the arrangement as Richie being hired as part of the Reed's defense team. Notice that in the letters also, they're asking for anything that any of these people were promised in exchange for their testimonies or their witness statements or things like that. Lindsay stated Carney is doing well with donations. Lindsay recalled several instances where Carney received cash at different events. She stated he received $1,500 at an event at a drive-in movie theater. Carney has alluded to the fact that he did not pay for a Lexus SUV he recently acquired. Carney made a statement similar to, if my frugal mother ever found out I paid for the Lexus, she would be mad. And even if I didn't pay for it, what's wrong with that? I think it's since been proven that he actually, in fact, did buy his own Lexus. So I don't know.
Thank you, Pastor Pepper. Appreciate that.
Lindsay stated she believed the Lexus was purchased from a dealership in Rhode Island. Lindsay stated Carney told her that he never pays taxes.
Rubber ducks.
Lindsay stated Carney was frustrated by comments on social media that people thought he did not want any more protests in Canton. He stated to Lindsay that he wanted people to protest. Lindsay stated that the 9 people recently charged with witness intimidation stemming from protests outside D&E Pizza in Canton was directed by Carney. Lindsay stated Carney instructed the group to go to D&E because he could not go. Carney stated it was good that additional people were charged with witness intimidation in addition to him because it took the heat off of him. But Carney stated he would not raise any funds for their defense. Lindsay recalled.
Once again, this is all hearsay, whether this happened or it didn't happen, but this is right along the timeline, right? She got arrested in February. June, she got indicted. I think this happened in December, right? So this is like what, within 6-7 months later, they're trying to get him arrested and put in jail, and they're trying to put a lid on this. They're trying to silence this, and it all coincides with each other. They actually still have his phones too. I wonder what's in his phones, or if there's anything in his phones. Obviously, there must not be anything in there because they would have just they would bring it up, right? I'm sure they would love to bring it up. So he's trying to get his phones back and all that. But this is how they get creative. Is Hank gonna pull a MELLO? Back to the title of this video. Is Hank gonna pull a MELLO? After all this, a special prosecutor that Morrissey hired, is Hank gonna do the same thing? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I don't know, people.
recalled Carney telling her 2 of the Rocco's defendants had received a quote from a defense attorney for $7,000. Carney stated that was too much. When Carney discussed the quote with Karen Reed, they got into an argument with Karen, stating that the Rocco's should spend money to get the Rocco's should spend the money to get a good attorney. Lindsay stated, how long is this thing? My God, they spent a long time on this.
No, of course they did. Commonwealth is a
Lindsay
common
stated
thief.
that she was told by Carney that Reed's attorneys were working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, specifically acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Josh Levy. Carney would talk a lot about the federal grand jury and Levy.
You can't
Carney
call.
stated he is confident that Norfolk District Attorney Michael Marcy is the target of the investigation. Lindsay stated Karen Reed was interviewed by federal law enforcement, and the U.S. Attorney's Office told Reed that DA Marcy was the target. She stated Levy had told Reed's attorneys about who had testified in an ongoing federal grand jury and the statements made to the grand jury by witnesses. Lindsay stated just before the story released by Fox 25 about letters Norfolk District Attorney Michael Marcy sent to the U.S. Attorney's Office, story aired December 5th, Josh Levy contacted Reed's defense attorneys requesting a conference call. During the call, Levy asked her attorneys, any chance the trial can be moved? And requested the attorneys file a motion to reschedule Reed's trial in Norfolk Superior Court, which is scheduled for March of 2024. Levy also asked Reed's attorneys to send him phone records of Jen McCabe they had in their possession or might be receiving shortly. Levy asked Reed's attorneys that if contacted by the media, Reed's attorneys should say they, the USAO and Reed attorneys, are not working together. Lindsay stated that Carney records all of his phone conversations. She recalled one blog post where Carney wrote about a phone call he had with Lucky Loughran. In the blog post, he stated he has a photographic memory while describing how he can recall facts from a conversation. Lindsay stated Carney recorded the conversation with Loughran and another phone call with Stephen Scanlon without consent. Lindsay stated following a court date Carney had at Norfolk Superior Court, she met him at Fusion in Dedham Square. Present was Carney's attorney, Timothy Bradel, and Carney's videographer, Richie. During the conversation, Carney and Bradel discussed Carney's cell phones that were seized by investigators.
Wow.
Carney asked what would happen if he had an illegal recording on the phone call, illegal recording of the phone call with Lucky Loughran on his cell phone. During the same conversation, Lindsay asked Bradel why he agreed to represent Carney. Bradel stated he wanted to defend the First Amendment.
For sure.
Bradel went on to say that he recently was at a courthouse and ran into a buddy who's an attorney. The buddy told Bradel that evidence exists that proves that Karen Reed is 100% guilty of murder, but the evidence is inadmissible in court. When Bradel made this statement, Carney became upset and began talking over Bradel. Carney told Lindsay on several occasions that he might flee the area. He mentioned he has lots of cash and would throw his phone away. Carney stated, I'm going to disappear. Lindsay discussed an upcoming rally in Canton on December 18th. She stated the rally is being organized by a woman with the first name Deanna, who's close to Carney. When Carney learned Deanna had met with Canton Police Chief Helena Rafferty before the rally, he became mad.
All hearsay. It's all hearsay.
There's like really bad fan fiction.
It's all hearsay. Everything she's saying.
See how much more there is of this. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. Very crazy. It's nuts, to be honest with you. It's very, very crazy because here's a girl going to state troopers. They're all in on it. And, you know, it's wild, man. It's wild that they could even get away with this.
Wine Yogi, thanking me for keeping it real on a Sunday.
Yeah, keeping it real for sure.
Judge knew about this, yet set the next hearing for December. Yeah.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is what
Seems that
happens.
way, doesn't it?
It does. Because this is what happens, Melanie. You know it. I know it. We all
Back to
know
the
it.
docs. This is the police report stemming from the incident of December 23rd, which nobody called 911 about, but Tully took it upon himself to make a call, or he's making the report. December 24th.
Now, keep in mind, this is on December 23rd. This is all going down. They're trying to get him right before Christmas. They're trying to put this dude in jail right before Christmas. They're trying to make him suffer every which way. This is the holidays, Christmas times. You got little kids. They're doing all this fast. This is all a setup. This is what you call a setup. The Commonwealth is a common thief. If you're from Massachusetts right now, peace to everybody. But if you're not from Massachusetts, this type of thing happens every day. Once you're in the scope, the DA's office picks state troopers and law enforcement that works with them from district court. In district court, it's the town cops. So say it's Malden District Court, it will be Malden police that work next to the DA. If it's a superior court, say Middlesex Superior, Norfolk Superior, Essex Superior, it will be state trooper detectives, which is Tully and all these weirdos. And they got creative and figured out a way that they can get back at Turtle Boy and lock him up. For what, though? For what? And this girl, not very solid, straight backstabber, seeing the popularity of this, seeing where it was going, and wanted to get a piece of, wanted to get in, wanted her name in it, and did whatever she could do to set him up, because I guess she was friends with a other girl who used to be a state trooper or something like that. People in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. And she didn't like Turtle Boy from years ago from something else, but they figured out a way to get him that 60 days. And even if Turtle Boy gets away with all this and he walks away, no intimidating a witness charge, and this all goes away, they still got him for 60 days. And that's how they look at it. That's how they look at it. For real.
4th, 2023. Interview of Lindsay Gattani regarding a past assault taken by Brian Tully. The victim is Lindsay Gattani.
Wow.
And here's the narrative in this Massachusetts State Police report.
Here we go. It gets good right here, people. 218
December
people in the
22nd,
chat.
2023, I, Detective Brian Tully, served Lindsay Gattani with a summons to appear before the grand jury. What grand jury? The grand jury? The grand jury that already concluded, or the grand jury that was going to result as a result of this incident?
Where's the grand jury?
The fake grand jury, the grand jury that was already
don't
done,
know.
or the one that wasn't convened yet, or the one that for
Where,
which the
Melanie?
incident did not even yet happen.
I don't know.
That's
I
a
just
big
want to fly.
problem, in my opinion. Big problem.
Just a pelican. I want to fly.
The service occurred at her apartment.
Sheesh.
On December 23rd, 2023, at approximately 10:30 p.m., I received a phone call from Special Agent. No, he's not a special agent. He's a special prosecutor, Ken Mello. 10:30 p.m. Mello on the bad phone to Tully.
Of course.
He stated he received a call from Lindsay Gattani, who told him that Aiden Carney was at her apartment. Ken then forwarded the phone call to me because,
Forwarded the phone call. Once again, people, if you're just checking in, you're on the replay crew. Peace to the replay crew. I love you too. If you want to get at me, hit the super thanks comment, right? Super thanks. Super chats, all appreciated to all my people. I appreciate y'all. But this is exactly what they do. This is exactly what they do. Unofficial business. They get on the phone. They get on the text message. This is not what happens. This girl's supposed to be in fear for her life, but yet she's texting people. Does that make any sense? No, not at all.
No need for formal introductions. We're just going to call him Ken. I'm just Ken. Oh, yeah, that Barbie song could apply to him, right? He's just Ken. He's just Ken. Wow. Ken then forwarded the phone call to me. Oh, he didn't really forward the phone call to you. He patched you in so you guys could have a three-way phone call, a conference call, we used to call it, or, a party line.
Yes. Let's get
During
to
the
it.
call, I could not understand anything being said as the voices were muffled. After several minutes, the call was ended. Oh, so he couldn't hear anything because she was hiding in the bathroom?
She was hiding in the bathroom. Of course she was.
At 10:48 p.m., Lindsay sent me the following text message.
Let's go.
So Lindsay is texting Tully?
Of course she is.
Ken said to call you now, but I can't. How does she have Tully's cell phone number that she can text him?
Melanie.
Tully and Mulder. Who wrote this? Tully wrote this.
Of course he did. They're best
Detective
friends.
Lieutenant Brian Tully.
Oh, Jesus.
So now he's just calling her Lindsay, and he's just Ken.
Of course.
Ken said to call you, but I can't now. He's knocking on the bathroom door. I have to go back out. Please don't text or call, and tell Ken not to because he wants to see my phone.
Yep.
I'm deleting our calls and texts right now. Don't respond until you hear from me, please.
Yikes.
Oh my God. So this is all in an official police report written by Tully. This is not speculation or conjecture or rumor or theory. It's in the freaking police report that Tully wrote.
It's wild, isn't it? How crazy is that?
Wow.
Yep. Talk to him, Melanie.
Lindsay and I spoke over the telephone on the morning of December 24th of 2023. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. She stated 2 nights prior, she spoke with Carney on Facebook Messenger. Carney became aware of the summons and wanted to come over to discuss this, but his attorney, Timothy Bradel, told him, I can't talk to you. Lindsay later noticed Carney removed her as a friend on his social media accounts.
Appreciate that.
She was unfriended. I am telling you, Facebook is good for nothing.
Nothing.
Once you remove Facebook from your life will be much better, in my opinion.
You're right.
She was unfriended. Is that what caused this whole thing to spiral?
You already know. You know what's going to happen if you do
unfriending. Carney
That's-
stated he figured out she was talking with Kate Peters.
Ooh.
I think it's Kate Peter. So again, the misspelling continues
Yep.
of witnesses, right?
Yep. You already know.
It's not Catherine, it's Kate. No formal introductions needed, folks.
No, not at
And
all.
made vaguely threatening statements. Carney
Yeah.
stated he knew about Lindsay's parents by stating, "I know a lot more than you think."
Mm.
About Lindsay's parents. I don't know anything more than that. I don't know anything about Lindsay's parents. He sent her a link to probate court documents involving her parents and visitation with Lindsay's children. Carney was threatening Lindsay by potentially releasing the documents. Carney wanted Lindsay to admit to talking with Kate. Carney told Lindsay he would get her and pay for an attorney. He stated he would talk to the attorney first so that the attorney could work with his attorney. Lindsay stated Carney called the previous day, December 23rd, to plan a visit by him to her apartment.
Here we go.
When he showed up, they went to a conference room off of her apartment building's lobby.
Okay.
Carney had a notebook and stated that the police were using her.
Really?
He stated, "I feel bad for you and show me everything on your phone." He then stated, "If you don't give me your phone, I will put you on the stand and make sure my attorney will destroy you," and insinuated the topics would be her prior drug use and children.
Oh, Jesus.
So he insinuated that, but he didn't actually say that.
Yeah, insinuated. Nice word. Real nice word.
He stated she would not be able to go out in public, and the narrative will be in the public. Carney referenced the probate court documents. He stated, "I have a friend that has a mass courts login, and I have all the affidavits."
Ooh.
He then showed her the documents on his phone. He stated, "I'm going to bring you to the FBI." Lindsay stated she went into the bathroom to stall the interaction because Carney was upset. When she came out of the bathroom, they decided to go to her apartment. Lindsay stated they sat on the couch and she attempted to stall, showing Carney her cell phone. Carney stated, "You have exactly 2 minutes to show me your phone. If you don't show me, my lawyer will destroy you." Lindsay then showed Carney her text messages with Kate Peters. Lindsay stated Carney kept grabbing her cell phone out of her hand. Carney took handwritten notes about the contents of Lindsay's phone. Carney stated, "I'm proud of you. You can destroy your phone and the police will not do anything about it." Lindsay stated her and Carney got into an argument when Carney was about to leave. Lindsay stated Carney left the room. Lindsay saw Carney's notebook nearby, removed all the pages with the notes about her phone, and placed the pages under her shirt. When Carney returned to the room, he noticed the pages were removed and grabbed Lindsay's wrist and arm to retrieve the papers. Lindsay stated she yelled and Carney pushed her onto the couch. Carney began to yell and Lindsay told him to leave. Carney responded he would not and refused to leave. Okay, so that's the alleged assault, which they did not indict him for, was the
Allegedly, and they didn't indict him
pushing
for
onto
it
the
either.
couch
Yeah,
and the grabbing of the wrist.
yeah. Well, she should have called
Carney
911.
began to yell and Lindsay told him to leave. Carney responded he would not and refused to leave. Lindsay stated Carney left at approximately 5 a.m. I told Lindsay that she needed to call the Medfield Police Department to report the incident. Lindsay was hesitant and the phone call ended. I then called the Medfield Police Department to report what Lindsay stated.
Wild, right, Melanie? How you feel about that, Melanie?
Well,
you tell me.
there's a lot, so much to unpack.
Right. I feel
But it was
the
the
same way.
unsending of Facebook that must have been the
100%.
catalyst for this.
100% it was.
Entire Michigas.
You already know it was.
Seems to me like MELLO is a witness. Seems to me like he should voluntarily recuse before that motion has to be decided. And seems to me that these next couple of court dates might be really interesting.
For sure. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate it. Well, we heard from Melanie Little. She's a lawyer, you know, and I'd like to hear from the people that are lawyers that know more than us. But reading that police report, you don't have to be a criminal. You don't have to be a lawyer. You might have never seen a police report in your life. But that right there is how they set you up. That's how they get creative. They knew that he was on bail. If he gets arrested, we can hold him for 60 days. They got himself a witness. They got to the girl. They said, if you say this, this, and this, and that's why they said call the Medfield police, because they need her to call the Medfield police to make it seem like it was imperative and that she really was in fear, right? And, you know, she didn't know what to do at that point. So they dropped the ball. He didn't even get indicted for assault. But the crazy thing is she was a witness for a grand jury that wasn't even assembled yet. You know, I don't even know how that works. I mean, honestly, I would have to get Melanie up here or a lawyer up here to even understand that. But, you know, I'm not surprised because there's a loophole somewhere, and MELLO used it. He's a super prosecutor. he is a special prosecutor. Some say special, I say super. I don't think Hank Brennan, our boy Hank Brennan, is going to do the same thing. I think Hank Brennan is going to do it different. Why would Hank Brennan want to go against Karen Reed at this point, knowing Mello pulled that? The gig is up. I don't see him doing that. Is Hank going to pull a Mello? I don't know. With that being said, let's get to some of your phone calls. How we feeling about that? How we feeling about the Commonwealth of Massachusetts doing things like that? I'm about to put the phone up on the screen. Just give me a second to get it together. And just give me 1 second here. And yeah, let me do it like that. And let me do it like this. And we'll take some of your phone calls, people. I want to hear from you. Do we think that Hank Brennan gonna pull a Mello? I don't think so. Anything about this case you guys want to talk about? Give me a call. It's posted right now. I'd like to hear from you. Let me get back to the comments. Wow, that's wild, huh? They figured out a way to get him 60 days. Now, hopefully he sues and he gets some money for being locked up. Now, there's some stuff in there that sounds crazy. Like, you notice how she got real animated, this girl, Lindsay, and said that Karen Reed was mad at him and he went behind her back and he said he was going to flee. And, and this was all when this all was coming out. So some of these things could have been said as far as like, I feel like running away or something like that, because it gets crazy. What he did was crazy, right? Like, he brought this all to light. Now he could have said that, but she added some spice in there, right? You know what I mean? And it's just no different than what people do when they take one of my sound bites and put it on Twitter and make me sound like an asshole. And that's what they can do when they meet up with the super prosecutor, the special prosecutor. It's pretty wild, right? To think that they can get away with this shit. So do we think Hank Brennan is going to pull a Mello? Do we think he's going to get Mello? I don't know. Let's get to it.
Call from
Jennifer.
Hey, who we talking with tonight? You're live with JFK.
Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer, where you calling from?
Washington State.
Okay, what's up, Jennifer?
They got to drop this stuff.
They got to drop it, huh?
Yeah, they're only going to make it worse.
They're only going to make it worse.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Attorney Betterow?
Yes, I am.
Okay. He was always kind of under the deal that they weren't going to drop it until after Karen Reed was dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how directly the cases tie into one another.
For sure.
And then you add in all the other shenanigans that are going back there with that poor Sandra Birchmore. And it's all the same people.
It's all the same people, you're right.
And, why else would they hold on to his devices for almost a year? They don't want that information coming out.
No.
It's just a big old mess. So they got to let it go.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your call, Jennifer. Call again anytime. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, JFK. Peace.
All right. Peace
and
love.
You, man.
All right. Love is love.
Bye-bye.
Nice. Bye. Jennifer from Washington State, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Yeah. She said, they got to drop it. And I think that's what Hank's going to do. I truly believe that. Who's this guy? Kurt, check out Jay live stream. The stream with text messages. Karen did text. I thought I clipped them. I didn't make this up. Okay, we got 603.
Call from
Marie.
Hey, you're live with JFK.
Hey, this is Marie. How are you, JFK?
Hey, what's up, Marie? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Listen, I just want to say I love your channel. I appreciate your points. I totally agree with the way that you think. I'm a math girl. I'm a 603 right now because I moved up to Southern New Hampshire, but
nice.
I grew up in Revere.
Nice.
Math girl by heart.
Right.
Clearly, you can hear it in my voice. I mean, clearly I have the accent. So anyway, this whole case,
Mhm.
my take with this whole case, I'm completely disgusted with the whole mass corruption. Everything's going on. Listen, I grew up in Mass. I know there's been corruption for years going on in Mass, right? Grew up in the city, years of that. With
Mhm.
this said, you know, talking about them bringing in the new prosecutor. Come
Mhm.
on, we know why they brought that person in. Like they're in a place that their back is up against the wall.
For real.
We know this.
Yep.
Okay, they're in a place where they're trying to figure out something. Now, I just heard, not sure if this is fact, but heard that they're capping this new prosecutor's salary at like, I don't know, 75 grand for a review of this. Okay, let's look at MELLO, who was paid $70,000 plus to try and prosecute Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney, for all this crap, witness intimidation. And now they're only going to give the special prosecutor 70,000 or 75,000. You know what they're doing? They're trying to get him to be one and done. They're trying to prevent him from getting to the truth. And that's the reality of it. Okay. The corruption keeps moving forward. It keeps happening. We keep seeing things occur, and that has to tell people that something has to be done. We don't see the governor. We don't see the AG. We don't see anyone stepping up. It's the people that have to step up. People like you, people like Turtle Boy, people like any of us that understand the corruption.
Can I just say this? That's why I always
Sure.
say, though, I think that they brought in Hank Brennan because if he comes in and saves the day, then it's a good look for them, and then they can take all the credit.
100%. But here's the thing. Hank Brennan, my take is that, you know, based on, I don't know, but based on the statement that he put out, I'm hoping that his statement reflects reality in the sense that he
Well, how about
wants
this?
truth and justice.
Like I always say, right? He says Whitey Bulger ain't a rat. If he thinks Whitey Bulger ain't a rat, I'm pretty sure can't see. I'm pretty sure why he can't think Karen Reed's not guilty.
Okay,
I mean,
wait. But he was Whitey Bulger's attorney, right?
Right.
So let's take a step back, because in my mind, attorneys represent people for a reason. If they're a defense attorney, their job, whether they believe in their soul or not, and I don't care what anyone says, if someone says they're a defense attorney and they have to believe in their client, their job is to get their client off. Okay? That's their job.
Right.
That's reality. So now he's been put in a different role. Let's be real. He's in it to make the money. Okay?
Yeah, but how about this, though? Look what just came out about MELLO. You think he's going to go that route after that?
Well, what do you mean?
That favors us.
Specifically?
Look at what MELLO did. MELLO set up Turtle Boy. MELLO looks like a
No.
clown. He's a
No, he
special
did.
prosecutor. Like he's going to want to go that route. I mean, either two things are going to happen.
No.
Either he sells his soul or he just pulls the plug on the whole case and he walks away.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen is he's gonna wait and see what the SJC has to say about counts 1 and 3, and then I'm gonna tell you he's gonna try and pull the plug on the case. But if they cap him at a certain place, let's be real. People will sell their souls for money and power.
75K.
That's not a lot of money to someone like that.
That's not a lot of money, period. Not in today's world.
No. Well, no. So my point is that if, he's not going to sell his soul for that, but he's going to put that in his pocket. Okay.
I mean, we can agree with that. I mean, that could happen, but I mean, there's just way too many inconsistencies. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's going to get creative like MELLO. I think there's going to be a way that he's going to side. Like I said before, I think he's going to get everybody together, and I think he's going to figure out a way to get Karen on the stand and tell the truth. and then pull the plug
I
mid-trial.
I
That's what I think.
I'm not even convinced it's going to trial at this point. I think that it has to play out. They're appealing. They've got Weinberg. They've got, going to the appeal process. The full panel of the SJC wants to hear this. So that's interesting because the fact that they understand there might be new precedent. This is the other thing I was just watching. I was just watching a podcast or a YouTube cast thing about Brian Walsh, the Brian Walsh case, right? I don't know if you watched it, but Melanie Little covered it, and she watched it. Look, his attorneys are in there saying, look, we want all of Proctor's records.
Right.
Now, who is the judge overseeing the Brian Walsh case? Canoni.
Right, yeah.
That
It's in the
puts
same
her
court.
in a place. It puts her in a place where, what is she going to do? Is she going to say, no, you can't have the records? Or now
they
the dirty cops?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. This happens all the time though, sweetheart. Cops are dirty, and when they're dirty and they find them dirty, everybody's case behind it, they have a chance to appeal it. So this dude, he didn't go to trial yet. But I mean, they could pull the records and try to fight a case for him. But I mean, let's keep it 100. I mean, that dude right there is white vanished. He was
100.
He might. It goes to show you, it's back to the Commonwealth. It's back to what it is. They messed up, and by messing up the Karen Reed case and messing up, chasing rubber duckies and pulling this shit on Turtle Boy, they might end up letting a real murderer go.
But here's the thing. I don't think they will. I mean,
but it
clearly,
could, because if you got a jury, I know there's probably other evidence that I don't know about. But what I'm saying is, if it's clear, if it's evidence based on Cellubrite and Proctor, I'm just saying, hypothetical. If it's all just that, I mean, then it's going to be tough for them. But I mean, I'm sure it's more. They got more evidence. But I mean, it's just a bad look. And this is what the Commonwealth did. They put themselves in a pickle. So the question is, does Hank Brennan want to go down this road?
You know what? I don't think Hank Brennan wants to go down the road. I think what Hank Brennan is doing is he's like Leprechaun, collecting the pot of gold at the end. That's money. Taking it, and he's going to walk away and do whatever he has to do, and not like the rest of them. They don't give a.
Or he could do what MELLO did, right? MELLO got creative to get Turtle Boy 60 days, right? That's what they called him in for. Get creative, get this.
No, MELLO didn't get creative. MELLO
broke the law.
Was corrupt. He was corrupt.
The Commonwealth.
There's no creation there.
Okay, but hold on. Let me tell you something. That's the polite way of saying it, but at the end of the day, that's what the Commonwealth do. They do this every day. If you're caught up in the system, they do it to everybody. If you now 100. Listen, so what I'm saying is, this is what they practice. The difference is Turtle Boy wasn't a criminal. Turtle Boy was fighting for justice. There was a cop dead. There's different circumstances in Turtle Boy's case. Most times it's kids who did crime. But that doesn't mean a kid who should only get a year in jail should get 10. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's how it works, right? So like I said, I don't think criminals should not have any repercussions, but I think a criminal should be sentenced in the guidelines. And sometimes these special prosecutors figure out ways to lug people and make them cop pleas and back them up into a corner, and they have no choice but to do time that they could have been free from. And that's all I'm saying. So, and this is what they do. They practice this. So I hope Hank Brennan gets creative, not corrupt, gets creative, and figures out a way out of this. Hey, I appreciate your phone call, sweetheart.
I thank you. I do have a little bit of hope for Hank Brennan. I will say that.
I appreciate everything you said. I appreciate you.
Listen, I appreciate your content. I appreciate this, and thank you for listening to me.
Absolutely.
I am 100% on board with you and what you say. And, we have to fight the good fight. That's what we have to do.
I appreciate it. I'm going to take the next call. I appreciate it. Love
All
is
right.
love.
Have a great evening. Yeah, Peace. Bye.
You're live with JFK.
Bob.
Hey, Bob. What's going on?
Hey, JFK. What's up, man? Bob from Worcester.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? What you want to talk about? What you want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about one what I think happened with Brian Albert. So Higgins, them guys, they're trying to impress. They want to impress Albert, and there was O'Keefe knew, him and Higgins had a little thing, and Albert liked to fight. He liked to think he's a boxer, so they probably had some words like, yeah, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to fight in the basement, And they probably were talking about it, and that was the night it probably came about. And then, like, when I was younger, I used to get in trouble. And this goes to the scar. This goes to the scar in the back of John's head. So what I think, I could see you like to lift weights, right? On the benches and all the benches, on the bottom, there's this piece of metal on a lot of the equipment, and it fits his scar. So I think the fight happened there, and it just got out of control. They didn't mean to kill him. He ends up dead. But I was in Middleton jail back in the day, and they had to wear the jumpsuits, and it was 2 TRX. It wasn't a split TRX like there was.
Where was you at?
I was in Middleton jail. This was back in the day. A few times I used to get in trouble, but I'm older now. But this is something I seen that it's going to tie into what I think happened. So I think there was a fight in the basement. John fell and hit his head. Now they're saying that he lost 3 liters of blood, and I know you probably heard that. So, we all know what a 2 liter of soda. We all know what a 2 liter of soda is, right? So just imagine that filled with blood. But in Middleton jail, I seen these guys.
That's a good point.
But I seen these guys fighting over a poker game. It popped off.
What block was you on? What block in Middleton was you on?
One of the 240s. They switch them around. PCs over here, PCs over there.
This is back in the day, right?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was years ago. But so the kid got grabbed. It popped off. The kid got grabbed by the back of the jersey, and the one kid swung him down. It just so happened the back of his head hit the corner of the metal picnic table.
Yep.
Now the kid was knocked out. Some other kid followed up with a weak punch. The kid was already knocked out, but his head split.
Right.
Now the kid probably lost about 1 liter of blood, but still, that was a lot. That was a lot of blood. Maybe not. Maybe a quart. Okay, like a little. But it pooled out. Blood coagulates differently. So if they're saying John lost 3 liters,
say that again, bro.
Okay, so
blood what'd you say?
Coagulate.
I don't even know.
Coagulate, I think that's the name. But
you got
deep with form. Yeah, I'm sure you've probably, in your, I've been following you for a little bit, so you've probably seen, an incident or something where blood pools, but the blood pooled out. It's kind of like actually milk, but obviously red and thicker. But it pooled out, and the kid lost a lot, and probably I'd say a quart, nowhere near 3 liters. Okay, because we all know what a 2 liter is.
Right.
So that's the mark in his head. If you see the pictures, it's the same thing. Like you look in the gym equipment, and it's like the same gap.
Well, let me ask you
this. I think what happened.
So you saying he fell and he bumped his head, and then they said let's get rid of the body?
Well, they were drinking. He was. This is what I think happened. Like looking at everything involved. There probably was words. They probably were like want to impress Albert, and Albert's like, listen, you guys are just gonna fight. Obviously they didn't talk about, but they're gonna fight in the basement. It was probably already, listen, we're just gonna shoot the ones in the basement or whatever. And they're probably going back and forth, and that's when he's waving his arm. Come on, then, come on. So, and then Albert or whoever's calming him down. But I think they fought in the basement. John went there to fight him. He ends up hitting his head, however it happens, and the pool of blood came up because that mark on the back of his head, it's the same width. It's like 2 inches, of the gym equipment. When the gym equipment's touching the floor, a lot of times is that if there's a place where you could fall and hit your head. But I think that's what happened. The dog, you could sprinkle some more things in, but I think the big thing with me is the amount of blood that he allegedly lost. And someone's tossed out 3 liters along the way. It could, let's say it's even 1 liter of blood.
How much
That's still a
exactly? Let me
massive.
ask the chat. Let me ask the chat. Exactly how many liters of blood was missing? The chat, Samantha. How many liters of blood was missing exactly? So we know. But let me ask you this, bro. You've been to
Go ahead.
you've been arrested. You've been on probation. You've been on parole. Do the
Yep.
Commonwealth figure out ways to put you in the scope to set you up somewhat, and get you with hearsay or whatever it might say, or the police in your town? What town you from? You say you're from Worcester, right?
Yeah.
What?
We're just gonna say Worcester, but
Okay, but
but
so
I'm gonna.
why was you getting caught up in Lynn? I mean, up in Essex County for?
Well, I'm saying Worcester because I don't want to get
Okay, that's
too in
fine.
depth.
So the
You
point
know
is,
what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm just trying.
So 3 liters of blood. They're saying in the chat. Thank you, chat. Um, so this happens though, right? Like you've seen what Mello did to Turtle Boy, right? Like this is what they do. They figure out ways. They knew he was he was out on bail, and they figured out a way to get him a 60-day bid real quick, right? This is what they do.
Yeah. This is so. In my experience, I probably had 10 years starting as a kid. Okay, I didn't have the best life. I probably had 10 years in state custody. Started off young as a kid. They actually put me in a mental hospital. I was in foster care. I was in mental hospital at 8 years old. But and then you progress. I was in a place as a kid called Brandon. Another place, just different places. You get the state. You could like little group homes, independent living, but eventually jail and then prison. But from what I see in my experience, and you could probably agree, is that they take a stance of the DA is supposed to go after the truth. But from what I see, it's not just Massachusetts. It's almost like they don't care they just want the conviction. So if there's a way to jam you up, they're going to jam you up. They're not necessarily going after the truth, because if they were going after the truth, I follow that guy, the Irish guy that I think you were on with him. I follow this.
Sean?
I'm trying to think of his name. Yeah, so Sean, Sean will have people on, but Sean's one of the rare ones, and what this case is doing is, it's shining light on tactics that maybe people wouldn't have known of. I just watched one about the Celebrate thing, about how during the trial they weren't even really trying to, find out who killed John. They were just trying to protect the McAlberts. So, it's just, this case is bringing out a lot of corruption. And what I think has happened is that, like this one guy ignored 30,000 emails, okay, that allegedly, text messages between him. Who was that girl? Sandra Birchmore?
Yep.
Between another cop. So, but what that is that's a systematic thing. It's like when other cops are getting away with stuff and just wanted to protect, and there are good cops, and I can say this being a felon. There are good cops out there, but there's too many. Okay, there's too many turning their back and to the things that are going on. But I think it's taken a turn for the good. And I was watching one of the shows too, like this LTL or something, and it might have been what's that guy's name? He does the computer, CPU Tom, right? I think it was him. Correct me if I'm wrong, if the chat would know. But they were doing a protest outside of Sandra Birchmore's police department, and a police officer came down, and he sits on the steps. He's like, "Oh, thank you for doing this," right? And this is the issue that I have with it, because there's good law enforcement. Now, back in the day, I did fishing before, right? And there was a fisherman who was taking cats and putting the cats. This is an old story, everyone knows about it. He's putting cats in traps, in fish traps, and killing the cats, right? And the cats. And what the fisherman did was they all got together and they went to the guy and they said, "If you do that again, that's going to be you," right? So they took responsibility. And cops need to do this too. Why are you coming out sitting on the steps and with Tom CPO or whoever it was, I forget where I seen it, and like basically saying, "Oh, thank you for," dude, you guys need to get together, right? These animals. And there's good cops out there that would do this. The good cops need to go to this guy and be like, "Listen, buddy, that's not happening. You're not doing that. and, taking care of the guy and, just doing whatever they have to do to him. And it's just, from what I'm seeing, it's just disgusting what's been going on. And, I want to tip my hat to you and some of the other people, but definitely Sean,
Shout out,
of
Sean.
the Gulf. Yeah. Shout out to Sean for doing the right thing, a good cop, doing the right thing, because there are good cops. But I'm just calling it like it is. And I'm calling it, a spade, and that's what needs to happen. These cops just need to do the right thing when it comes to law enforcement, But
The problem
I
is,
just
man,
wanted to,
you're calling a spade, man. But they're playing with the little they're playing with the two of diamonds and the two of hearts. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
like they're disguised, bro. And it's like that's the problem, like you said. But yo, my man, I appreciate your phone call. Call anytime, my dude.
All right, JFK. Thanks, bud. I'll see you.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother. Yes, nice phone call, man. He's been through it, man. He's been through the system, foster care when he was young, and that's trauma. When he sees things like this, it brings back the memories of how rigid the system is and how bitter it is. And that's the same thing with me. I see how rigid and bitter the system is. So, it's easy to type and say Karen's never going to go to jail and the feds are coming in. But, when you mix it all up, the feds are the cops, the feds are the courts. Right now, Karen, she's not a criminal, but she's being tried for murder. She's being tried for manslaughter, where, whatever, how it plays out. So she's in the seat as the criminal, and they ain't got no love for criminals. And like I said, we always criminal minded since we were young. First time we ever picked up the graffiti and we wrote on the wall, we didn't think it was a crime. We wrote on the wall, threw our name up and tagged, listen to Run DMC, breakdanced. We manipulated the system. Wow, we can move things around. We can go to the store and steal tapes and steal triple fat gooses. And our parents are poor. We're from Lynn. We're from Dorchester, from Southie. We can go to the malls and steal jabos and do all these petty crimes. And then we learn, like, listen, these guys are selling crack. I don't want to sell crack. I don't want to shoot guns. I don't want to do that. I just want to have fun, make Joy ride a car. But then you realize that's against the law. Then they put you in DYS and you're 15 years old and you get punched in the face by a 45-year-old at 15, right in your eyeball. And now there's no coming back because now you realize there's no love. Nobody gives a shit. Now you're lost. Yeah, you did the crime. You should do the time. Okay. But the way you get treated and the way it messes with your mental, you could get caught in that revolving door and never come out. You can't turn it off. Karen Reed said in the 2020 interview that she feels stuck. She doesn't know what to do with herself. She feels like the world's caving in on her. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what she's saying. She got real emotional when talking about her mother because she can't probably put it into the right dialogue with her mother, the right context, and explain to anybody what she's going through. You see Turtle Boy, a journalist, right? A guy that just jumps on the blog sites and causes a bunch of, craziness, if you will. That's what Turtle Boy did in the past. He likes to, wild out a little bit. But now he can't turn off the system. He's been arrested. He's got a number. He's been arrested in front of his kids. He's mad. He's upset. He wants justice. But when you're sitting on that criminal seat, once you have that number, it's hard to get justice. They always got you in the scope. They always got you in the scope. And that's why you can't be putting rubber duckies in front of D&E's Pizza, because it doesn't matter if it's a joke. If they can figure out a way to get creative, they're going to get that poor guy. Richie is his name. When intimidating a witness. That's crazy over ducks. But they could do it. This is what the Commonwealth does. And you know what? As much as we get mad about it and we say, wow, how could they do this? And we think, it's just going to go away. He's going to have to go to court probably for the next year fighting that case. He's going to have to get a lawyer. He's going to have to show up. He's going to get it continued. He's going to have it hanging over his head. When he gets pulled over and they run his name, now he's right there. He's probably flagged in the system as the rubber ducky man. I know that sounds kind of funny, but still, he got intimidating the witness charge. They know that he has an open case. Oh, he has an open case, huh? We just pulled him over in Stoughton. He has an open case. Well, let's see if he's drunk. Maybe he smoked some weed. Maybe we can get him OUI. Maybe he has some weed on him. Maybe the passenger is his son, his grandson. We'll just hold him a little bit longer. Hey, grandpops. Hey, what's going on, Grandpa? Why are we sitting here for 20 minutes? All we do is get pulled over for a tail light. Why are we still sitting here on this dark highway with the state troopers just got flashlights in our car? Because now you're marked. Now you're in the scope. Yeah, he gets found not guilty. It's funny. It's rubber duckies. But it's the trauma. How can Richie turn that off? A guy who probably has his own company, probably that has his, that did the right thing his whole life and just wanted justice. They don't care. They'll put you right through the system because one case has nothing to do with the other. The Karen Reed case has nothing to do with the Turtle Boy case. The Turtle Boy case has nothing to do with the Rubber Ducky case. Although we all see it different and we all know better. But in court, they'll separate it and they'll make everybody pay by wasting your fucking time in a courthouse. The last place you want to be in Massachusetts is one of them old courthouses. Yeah, man. Justice 44 became a YouTube member for sure. Let's see what we got here. $4.99. Thank you. We're all in the United States of America, not North Korea. For sure. I agree. And I want to get into something, man. We do a thing here called the phone call of the week. So when you drop a phone call, if you got the best one and we have fun up here. And so I got one, the phone call of the week of last week. Let's see what that's all about. The phone call of the week. Check this out.
JFK. Just spending the time. Can't sleep. Good man. Don't let the bed bugs bite. It's time for owner gets to sleep. Good man. Sleep is the cousin of death. It's like you when you sleep. It's like you hold your breath. Good man.
We're about to take it back.
What's your name?
Karen.
Karen? Okay, Karen. We're gonna do it like this real quick.
So I'm going to see Slick Rick on October 26th. Yeah. Hey, young world.
Oh, sing
we're
it, girl.
going to see them.
First 4 bars of Lottie Dottie. Go ahead. Give me the first 4 lines. Go ahead. Lottie Dottie. We like to party. We
like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some men that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. What? For all of y'all, keep y'all in hell. Just to see you smile and enjoy yourself.
Everybody in the chat.
When you cause a cozy condition and that you create, because that's our mission. So listen to what we say, because this type of shit happens every day. I woke up around 10 o'clock in the morning. I gave us all right, no more.
Went to the bathroom to wash up.
Yeah, I'll take you and Jesus out to eat. Where do you guys want to go? Something place where there's good food.
Let's go to C.F. McCarthy's.
I'll go there. So, like, Higgins, right? The sad little boy, a tall man in the house. Can somebody explain this? Who's a tall man and why is he saying this?
Right,
so is he covering? Is he covering for himself?
6 foot. No one's talking about it. Who's he talking about?
I mean, well, to answer that question, JFK's been saying this. Brian Higgins is saying that, he's protecting himself is what he's doing. He's saying that he might have seen a 6'2" male in the house.
It should be like, front and center. And it should be. You're right.
It should. You're right.
It really should be, because it's basically he's saying he's basically saying that John was in the house just in case somebody breaks and the feds come in and try to scoop him up and say you lied under oath. He'll say, what are you talking about? I didn't lie.
You're rocking with the best.
Yes. That was the phone call of the week, Karen. Lottie Dottie, we like to party. I'm going to take one more phone call for the night. Anybody that want to jump on the line and want to talk real quick. See if we can get one last one up in here. Yeah. John O'Keefe. R.I.P. to Officer John O'Keefe for sure. Let's keep that on front line for sure. Like I said, I think Hank Brennan can get creative. I think that he could get Karen on the stand. I think that they can all agree on it. and Karen could speak her truth, fill in all these blanks that JFK and everybody else is trying to fill in. And then he could pull the plug on the trial, mid-trial, maybe the beginning. And now it puts Big Bad Brian A and Matty M, excuse me, on the backup. It puts them all in a corner. Wow, they just pulled the plug. What am I gonna do? Now they gotta go to Hank Brennan's feet and people start folding, and then maybe we get the truth. Corruption runs deep. Think of it all, people bamboozled by corruption on it, sitting the prosecutor. For real, I agree, Justice. I really agree with that. Let's go. I give it one more minute. You guys want to check me out here? Check me out over here. And I'm running solo tonight. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I try to open up the phone lines for y'all so you guys can speak. Is Hank going to get creative and not pull a Mello? And maybe take Mello, I hate to say it, but figure out a way to make this go away. See, Mello wanted to make it so it's stuck. Well, Hank, you could do the same thing, but make it stick to the bad guys, not to the good guy. Make it stick to the bad guys. Get creative and make it stick to the bad guys. What do you need? You need Karen to get on the stand? Give Alan a call. Give Yannetti a call. Get her on the stand. Maybe she'll agree to it if you give her that magic whisper. It's gonna go away. Don't worry about it. We don't care about the drunk driving. We don't care what happened. We don't care if you were arguing. We don't care. Just tell them what happened. Pull the plug. Case over. Case dropped. Big Bad Brian A gets arrested. Jen McCabe, done. Yeah, that sounds good. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. How we feeling out there, people? That's all right, Justice. It's absolutely all right. I appreciate everything. But yeah, 254 people in the chat. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Anybody that want to hit that phone line, hit it up now. James Jackson on the check-in. Great job, JFK, holding it down. Peace and love. Chat recovery for the ankle. I'll be back ASAP. Free Karen Reed and Officer John O'Keefe. Peace, peace, peace. Yes, everybody go sub to James Jackson. Yeah, holding it down tonight. It's what I do, And but yeah. Well, there we go. We got a super chat from Lisa. Yo, justice for the kids and company. I start foster parent training in 2 weeks. I will get the kids in the justice system too, because I have the experience. You make me wanna bow out now. It's all good, girl. It's all good. What do you mean bow out now? You don't want to do it, or you want to do it? As long as you're teaching them right, and just letting them know that you got from 15 to 21. You don't want to lose a kid. You don't want to talk at them. You want to talk to them. It's a difference. Peace and love. Gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Shari D. I appreciate all the love right now that I'm getting. I really do. I can feel the love. I really do. That phone call of the week. Come on, I'm trying to get a new one up here. Phone call of the week. I'm trying to have fun up here. Who's going to call in? Who's going to be the one? We'll give it 1 more minute. I know people get a little scared calling up the phone lines. They get a little nervous. Everybody's so passionate. Okay, that's all right. Sherry D, thanks again. I appreciate that. James Jackson, heal fast, James. Yeah, James, he had surgery on his ankle. About a year and a half ago, he actually got a bad break on his ankle playing b-ball, and it's just one of them freaky things. He caught a bad deal, and he had to get the screws and the plates taken out, and he had to take a shot today, a cortisone shot, and yeah, it was just bad for him, man. So he's just all iced up, leg elevated, probably smoking on something, knowing him. But yeah, peace to my man James. But love. Yeah, we got a phone call coming in. This will be the last one for the night. Let's see who it is. 401. Patty, how we feeling tonight, Patty? You're live with JFK and 242 people. Hello? Hello, Patty. I think I lost her. I think I lost her, Patty. Call back. I'll wait for you. Wow. Look at this, huh? Proctor is officially fired. That's awesome. See you later, Proctor. Hey, you're live with JFK. What's going on? Hey, Mike, how you feeling? Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. When when this happened? I didn't see that. The girl said that? I don't remember. Hey, chat, does anybody remember that happening? I don't remember that happening. The pass Nah, you're saying the passenger. Hold on a second. We can't hear you, buddy. Hold on. Um,
I don't.
Go ahead, Mike.
I
Mike,
think
say
it
that
was.
again. Mike, say
I
that again for the people out there.
okay. I believe it was Nagel who let Karen pull into Fairview Street before him. He pulled up behind her.
Right.
His sister came out. They were talking,
Right.
and then when he peeled off, Nagel said just Karen was in the truck. The dome light was on. Her hands were 10 and 2. 10 and 2. There was a female on the stand right after him. She was in his truck as well. She had blonde hair. I don't know what her name was.
Okay.
But she stated when he let Karen go down Fairview, when he let Karen go first, she clearly saw two people in the Lexus. And the people she saw, the driver had long hair and the passenger had short hair.
It was the chick Heather,
And
right? That was her name. I think it was Heather. Sherry D said.
was that her name, Heather?
Yeah, the chat.
I think that. Yeah, I think that might be her name. But they both clearly said that they only saw Karen in the vehicle when they peeled off. John was not in that Lexus.
No, absolutely not.
No.
That's where it gets. That's what we want to find out. That's to me is the biggest thing. What happened? Where did obviously when in the house? It must have been on site because it happened so fast. And it's just like why? But why did it happen so fast? Why was everybody that angry? And that's what we got to get down to the bottom of. And I think that's what Hank is going to want to get to the bottom of. Mike, thanks for the phone call, brother.
No problem, my man.
I'll talk to you soon, my man.
You have a. All right, bro. We'll probably call you next show. Love you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peace.
Call me anytime. Peace. Hey, I missed a couple of phone calls that were coming in. I think it was Patty, or I think Patty might have called in. If you want to call back, go ahead and give it a call back now. The phone line's open. Hey, good looking out, James. For holding me down with the audio. Appreciate that. I think Turtle Boy said she looked like a Cabbage Patch doll. Got stung by a beehive full of bees. Wow. Whew. Yikes. Allie McCabe, Samantha said on the stand, John was in the house, people. Yeah, she did. She slipped. She said Colin wasn't there when John was there, right? Is that what she said? Something like that. That's Bagel Nagel. Yeah, I know how we do it. Yeah, I'm waiting on that phone call. I had a couple of coming in. I feel bad now. I wish there was better software. I'm going to figure out something better on the phone calls so I can get everybody fast and hit you guys back if need to be. I got to figure it out. There's got to be a better way than this. Fight in the backyard of the house. Yeah. But like I said, is he going to go out like Mello? And it's funny. I seen Glera Who's the guy with the bald head on court TV? Who's that guy? He's always on court TV with the bald head talking shit about Karen. Who's he?
Call from
Fight in the backyard.
Who we talking with, man?
Hey, RFK, it's Justice again, Marie.
Hey. Okay, Marie, what's up?
So I talked to you before. You know, I've been watching you. I thought you were going off, but listen, I really, really, really want to push with people that we need to be a community of people that bring justice to what's right and real.
Right.
Right?
I appreciate that.
I mean, it's part of, you know, what you're doing and part of what people want to do. I don't have the availability like you to spend my, you know, my days. I work full time. I have an autistic child, that adult daughter that I raised.
Oh.
So I spend, you know, and it's great. Like I love my life.
Of course you do.
Life is good.
Life is good.
My daughter is a blessing every single day, but I
Can you
live
lower
my
that in the
life
background?
justice.
Can you lower your phone?
Oh, sorry. Sure. Okay, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
I live for, you know, truth and justice and people that deserve to have love and joy in their lives.
Right.
For me, this is so important. Like, this has become an important thing for me because I believe that we have to right the wrongs.
Oh yeah.
It's that simple. And I look at you and I appreciate so much that you're trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And look,
that's awesome.
no one's life is perfect. Everyone has struggles, everyone has complications, but unless we step forward and take that little bit of a step to say that we're gonna be part
Let me ask you
of,
this, Marie. Who's the guy with the bald head that's on court TV that always goes against Karen? Someone said his name. What's his name? Cleveland or someone said? Are you familiar with that dude?
Oh, Plevin, you talking about Yellow Cottontail?
Yeah, what's the deal with that guy? Like, he doesn't like Karen. What's his problem?
So listen, I don't know the in-depth thing, but he's a bizarre person because I follow things on Twitter.
He's bizarre.
Well, I'm Boston, right?
He's
so
bizarre.
I'm bizarre. Okay, so he is a person that I don't know fact, I don't know truth about him, but apparently, from what I understand, he has this YouTube channel, and he, you know, he kind of follows the anti-Karen Reed movement, and I think a lot of it's for clicks and a lot of it's for, you know, this and that, but he says all these really strange things, and, you know, there are a lot of people that are in the pro Karen Reed movement that just disconnect from him because for whatever his name is, I think Kevin Plevin.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah.
Yellow.
What if we got Kevin?
Tail.
What if me and James got Kevin on the show? I see him on court TV. Do you think me and James Jackson? Just hold on a second. I'm talking to the chat. 1 second. Hold on a second, Marie. I'm gonna keep you there. I'm talking to the chat. Everybody out there in the chat, do you think me and my man James Jackson could get Plevin? What's his name? Plevin, Kevin, whatever his name is.
Kevin Plevin, whatever his name is.
No disrespect to him. I don't know you as a man. I just know that you're on court TV swearing that she did it. There's evidence, there's this, there's that. And you just let your common sense go out the window as if corruption hasn't been proven. It just got proven through MELLO. MELLO is the most corrupted dude. He got creative to get Turtle Boy hemmed up. Whether you like Turtle Boy, whether you hate him, he figured out a way to lock him up. Not right, you know, illegally.
Okay.
You know,
so
hold on a second, Marie. Hold on. I'm just talking to the chat. Do you guys think I should get this guy? Should we hit him up and say, get on the JFK channel, talk to me and James? Me and James are two Boston guys. We're not from Worcester. We're from the North Shore area, 15 minutes out from the inner city of Boston. I've been inside Boston my whole life, going around Boston, downtown, Dorchester, Southie. I've been around. I know all about the insides. I know a lot of people. I know how this game works. So maybe if we get him up here, maybe me and James can convert him. Maybe we can tell him a different way. Maybe that's what he needs. He needs a couple of different personalities to speak to him. What do you guys think? Should we just let him just die on his channel, or should we bring him up here and talk to him? I don't know. You guys let me know. But yeah, Marie, go ahead, man, and take me out of here. What's going on?
So what I wanted to say was he reached out to the Glarer and said,
did he?
"Bring me on." Yeah, he did on Twitter. "Bring me on your channel. We'll talk." But the thing is that based on the response of
the people,
the way that he's been in the past, like they didn't want to give him a platform. But with that said, I was the one. I did say, I said, you know what?
He goes on Court TV though. They give him a pretty big platform.
Oh, you know what? Listen, let's talk about Court TV. Court TV goes with whatever flow is working for them. Okay, so they also had people like related to Aiden Carney. They had people like Kate Peter on Court TV. They had she is the biggest douchebag. I'm sorry. I apologize for the word.
That's okay.
Biggest douchebag. Okay. So she was on Court TV. I don't even watch. I'm so the whole thing is really put me to a point where I'm just so disgusted.
Who wants to see JFK on Court TV? I mean, like Court TV.
I would love.
But what I'm saying is, hold on a second, Marie. I'm talking to the chat, right?
Sure.
The thing is, Samantha and everybody out there saying Court TV's trash. I get it, but it's still a pretty big platform, and regardless of what this guy's on, I don't know. You know, I seen him in one thing on Twitter. I just feel like he's been abused. I'm not saying that he didn't, bring it on himself. I feel like, guys like that, he can mess around and jump off the Tobin Bridge. You know what I mean? And I mean that with all due respect. And he seems like he's doing this to be a villain in the game. There's a lot of characters that are doing this Karen Reed thing. It's character, the JFK, you got James, you got the Glera, you got Sean, all these different characters, and he's the villain, he's the heel, and that's what he wants to be. And I think time's up. I think it's time to turn babyface and leave the heel stuff alone and become a babyface, and meaning become a good guy, and understand that regardless of what Karen knew, what she didn't know, what she might be guilty of as far as drinking and driving or leaving him there and she shouldn't have, that doesn't matter. She didn't kill John O'Keefe. And I'm sure he knows that deep down inside.
I agree with you. What I would say to you is that I think if anyone could bring him on and handle him and put him in the place where he understands reality, it would be you. So I don't disagree with you. I think that every side should be heard, and I think that if facts are brought forward and truth is reality, if people get the truth, then they have to come to reality. If they don't, then those are the people that should be pushed away. So in my mind, I'm looking at the chat. Kevin is irrelevant. Court TV is trash. Don't give Plevin airtime. Okay, I think
they hate him, huh? They hate this guy. This is why I'm saying it, because
they hate him.
But here's the thing, Marie. It's Marie, right? Am I right?
Marie,
yeah. You know what it is, Marie? Honestly, it's that I don't really I pay attention to the Glera. I watch Turtle Boy from time to time. Sean's my guy. I watch him. I watch the Jerks from time to time, when I can. I'm a busy man myself. Too. I support Mike regardless. I try to catch his shows and get into what he's doing. Better Row and stuff like that, and I watch Nurse Kim here and there.
Me too. I'm an RN. I'm a nurse.
Oh, you're a nurse, so you understand. And I watch Calling All Beings when I can. If I subscribe to them when they pop up in my email, I'll watch them. But the point I'm trying to make is I see this on my Twitter. I'm not really a big Twitter guy because there's so much negativity on Twitter. I don't like seeing people falling off buildings and car crashes and all this crazy stuff that's on Twitter. But I seen him in a couple of videos like pleading for help. And I'm like, man, this dude's been tortured. Not to
Well,
say he didn't bring it on himself, but Jesus.
right. But the thing is, for me, I try to look at every perspective, whether I agree or not, because I think that's important. But with that said, I think everyone should come to the table with the facts. And if you bring facts to the table and he brings facts to the table, let's look at the facts. Not
Right.
complicated, right?
Right.
So, to be honest with you, I think with him, he's looking for, maybe he believes what he's saying. It could be the truth, but maybe he's looking for clicks. I don't know. But with that said, I think everyone has the right to have their opinion in life, no matter what it is.
Well, let me take another phone call, and I appreciate you calling back, and we'll talk again sometime. All right, Marie, and you take it easy.
Sure. Yeah, love to talk. Love to talk again.
All right, Marie.
Appreciate your time, effort. Thank you so much for being who you are.
God bless you.
Same. God bless you too.
Peace. Marie, ladies and gentlemen, she's out there. She's a nurse. She's got an adult autistic child. She's very passionate. Listen, criminal minded, you've been blinded. I'm not a criminal no more. I don't do crime no more. That's not what I'm about. But I know a lot of people that, let's just say, they don't like the police, or they don't like the system, period. And whether they just see things different. And that's the type of people that I know. It's not to glorify, but it's a different world. But the point is, they see the setup. They know how the system works. But here's this woman, Marie. She has a older daughter that has autism. She's a nurse, and she knows that Karen Reed's not guilty. Why? She got no stake in this case. If anything, she should be mad. She's happy about life, right? She's happy about life. She loves life. And not saying, autism is a bad thing, because it's not. Autism is just quirks, whatever. We all got quirks. There's a lot of quirky people out there right now, huh? There's a lot of quirky people out there. I see you. A lot of quirky people. They got hung up on. They called and they hung up. But that's all it is, right? We all got quirks. But when life gets hard, she's pushing through. She's a nurse, tough gig. Having a special needs child, tough gig. But she still believes Karen Reed's guilty. I mean, excuse me, not guilty. Excuse me. Whoa. It's not guilty. But someone like Plevlin, or whatever his name is, I seen the video of him. It looks like he's like in this old, I don't know. It just looks like he's like in the Brady Bunch or something, like the 70s and shit, where he's sitting. He looks like he's a pack rat or something like that. But yeah, I just threw it out there. I don't really know nothing about the guy, and I just don't bash people. That's not what I do. I don't know the man. I'm just the man. I don't judge nobody. It's an observation. And as far as my views going down, I would bring him up here, if I did bring him up here, to show him videos and have him look at videos and be like, bro, let me ask you this, my man. Let me ask you this, Plevlin, my man, whatever your name is. What is it? Someone said it's yellow cottage tails or something like that. I don't know you, dude. But explain this to me. This is a movement. This ain't a mob. I know people call them a mob. That looks like a mob on the other side, though. Explain what this is to me. Man, this looks like a fight going down, if you ask me. Oh, you play fighting. Yellow cottage cheese, whatever your name is. I don't know you, man. Oh, don't do that here. Don't do it. Chill out. Chill. What are you doing, man? Chill. What are you doing, bro? Higgins, chill out, bro. Chill. I work for the state, man. You're going to fuck everything up, bro. Chill. You'll get him another day. Relax. Oh, man, he's mad. Higgins is mad. Ooh, look at him. Are you coming? Come on. I'll be right out here right now. Come on. Come on. You coming? Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Oh, man. Let me finish this drink. Man, this dude really acting up right now? Woo. I'll fuck this dude up. I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Fuck this dude up. Who's this dude think he's talking to? Karen, get in the car. We're going over there. Hey, Jen, what are they saying over there? What did he say? What? What'd he say? I'll be there in 5 minutes. That's what I seen. That's what I seen. Excuse me, I got hyped up. But yeah, it's wild to think, right? It's wild to think. Wow. He walked in the house. I just see them walk in the house. Woo. Man. Man. Look at this. Easy to get in this house with nobody seeing you. Very easy. But look. Ironically, right? This guy, Officer John O'Keefe has a big gash in the back of his head. This guy, Higgins, is throwing up his hands, right? Acting like a tough guy, and he's got a big gash in the back of his head. And Big Bad Brian A. has a weight set in his basement. Explain that. Explain that. Oh, wait a minute. We're backing out the driveway. 12:30 this happened. They didn't find the body until 5. Well, excuse me, Officer John O'Keefe's body until 5:55 or something like that. So this was on the lawn the whole time. And you wouldn't notice a body. 7 people leaving the house. Let's see. We're backing out. Hey! My man Brad said you would have seen a tennis ball. You would have seen a football, a basketball. There was no snow there. Where is he? I don't see him. Does anybody see Officer John O'Keefe? 7 people. I think I seen a blob. A 6-foot blob. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's back up again. You guys see anything? I don't see nothing. See, the Commonwealth, the common thief, will make you believe that the front of that lawn is the size of a football field. But look at how small it is when you back up. There's nothing there. We all know that he got placed there. And with that being said, my name is JFK. We could just look at that one piece of footage. And unfortunately, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is the place that I call home. Peace and love. Subscribe. You want to hit me on the Cash App? It's JFK Show Off. Super chat, super thanks. Hit me with a membership. I appreciate every last one of y'all. I'll see you again soon. Home is where the heart is.
And no matter where I go, I feel
baby,
right
I'm home, I'm home, I'm home.
Come on. Rainy days, rainy nights when the pain hit. Mental health fragile. Don't let your brain flip. Had a child with your lady. Never claimed it. She takes care of your son, huh? That's some lame shit. Hold on to dreams. Don't let others see. They say they're sober. They fake recovery. I always reach out. Can't see my brother bleed, but he don't want to listen. Rather run the streets. Chasing fame, such an entrepreneur. You ain't got that man's money. What you flaunting for? Nothing to call your own. Now you wanting more. Now you in group group chats, talking noise with your boys. Went from sipping Heineken, sipping on Stella, from boosting with the fellas, merchandise reselling. From a solid crew, now his man is telling, having Fetty babies from the shit they sell. Home is where the heart is, every day I'm in the zone. Yeah, no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing, I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Home is where the heart is, every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing, I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Come on. Driving in the whip, light drip with the rain guards. Can't believe the same shit, yo. We came far, grew up on the same street, cut the same cars, call a spade a spade. We was made stars. DYS, home on the bed crunch. Walkman, super bass, make your head bust. Damn low sweater, 96 North Face, embrace cold weather. And prison is the thing that brings us together. And this is the place that we run back to. Rep our city, verbally attack you. Chaos, negativity, what we attract to. Home is where the heart is, and I don't have to call you. Home is where the heart is, every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing, I take care of my own. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe it to yourself and your family. Protect your growth. Welcome home. See what they talking about.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
Call 911, officer down, don't make a sound. There's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone closed the gate. It's cold where the broken face, please Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would've told me he was feeling the way when he sent you that text. Seen the fear in your face, then he texted me too. Coming here, then you drove away.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake